Say something.
I'm answering the question that they asked in the thing, that we want both of our face cams on. Do I sound acceptable?
Try again.
Let me try speaking again. How was that?
You're a little quiet.
Do you need me to turn up the mic button or change something in OBS or what?
Maybe in
Well,
Zoom.
You have the OBS at absolute max.
Your audio isn't going through OBS at all. It's going through Zoom.
I don't know where the
it's
Zoom
in the Zoom
options are.
settings.
I'm trying to find where the Zoom settings are. There we go. Okay, so one moment. Audio. Okay. The microphone is at max in Zoom.
Maybe talk in stream voice?
This is stream voice. I don't think I'm talking differently than I normally do during stream.
Okay,
do I need to turn up the microphone?
I guess you could try that.
Okay, I turned up the microphone a little bit. I think it's continuous, even though it doesn't look like it.
Nope, that sounds great. Yep, much better.
Okay, and if I X out this, it still sounds like it did? Oh, yeah, because I didn't even change anything there. So, yeah, that can't have screwed up anything. There we go. Oh, my laptop is not plugged in. That could have been a disaster. I just noticed that it was I was getting a low battery warning on the main thing. I was like, that would be bad.
Oops.
Clover says you should put up a starting soon screen.
Oh, okay.
Wait, we're not allowed to swear? I didn't agree to
Hello.
that. Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a good day. How many people in chat have been watching through the whole time? All 22 hours so far? I'm curious. I bet there's at least one in chat who has been watching the whole time, but maybe there's more. I remember when I did a 24-hour stream, there were certainly a couple people, including Selena, if I recall correctly, who hung out the whole time. I also learned that Selena's brain holds up a lot better over the course of 24 hours than than mine did. Hello, everyone. Hello, missing a few cards, and Acid Helm, and Sarah, uh, everyone else there. All right, we got a couple people who've been here for 20 hours. Jay's been here for 15 hours. We've got some people who are up there. I haven't seen anyone. I don't think I've seen anyone say they've been here literally the whole time, but a lot of people are 20 plus, which is still very impressive. Also, I am informed reliably that we need to raise $380 or something untoward will happen to something cute. So please give your money generously to the SudokuCon cause, because a lot of people have been working very, very hard to make this all a reality. So it is fantastic to help. To be clear, I have not done any work at all other than this small amount. So no, nothing will happen to Zach. Zach will be fine. I did read about a streamer who had like a famous duck that then he took the duck away until he got to 400,000 subscribers. I do not think it would be popular if I took Zach away until I got to 400,000 subscribers. But anyway, for those of you who've not yet met our lovely Zach, Zach is our digit dancing penguin who dances for the first digit in each puzzle, although this is a pencil puzzle, so he's probably not going to get to dance because there's not going to be a digit in it. I have read the rules enough to see that, but anyway, but welcome. This is Zach. Say hi to Zach, everyone, if you have not yet before met Zach. All right.
All right.
Trying to. So you're going to explain the rules of Shivers?
Sure. It is Zach with a K, Eve. In this puzzle, we draw shivers in the grid such that all unshaded, so every non-black cell in this is going to have a line in it. Let's see. Shivers are non-intersecting lines of at least length 3, which turn at 90-degree angles on any cells other than their endpoints.
It would be hard for it to turn on a 90-degree angle on its endpoint, I decided after reading that sentence a couple times.
Yeah. A dashed circle indicates an endpoint, so this is an endpoint, this is an endpoint, this is an endpoint. A number in a cell, like this 5, indicates the length of the shiver occupying the cell, so this is part of a 5 cell. This up here is part of a shiver that's at more than 3, so it's at least 4 length. And these X's mean that these two shivers have the same length, or possibly are the same shiver. Who knows?
And I promised Casey we would make the 5s green for him, so just to totally alienate all of you who aren't regulars to our stream, which you should be, by the way. That is a recurring thing that 5s always end up being green. So we have 2 5s that we can make green to appease Casey and others. All right, so oh, I am shameless microstudy. There is no depth to which I will not sink to promote my own thing. I mean, I literally dyed my hair purple for it, so I feel like we can't get much lower than that. What, Tristan?
Oh, I always forget to switch my keyboard into Sudoku mode when I start streams now.
So the break-in is in row 11, column 2, because that's the end of something and it can't go up, because if it went up, it would be a shiver of length 2, and we're not allowed to have a shiver of length 2. Purple is a cool color. I 100% endorse this message. Now, that is all I saw in the minutes that I was looking at this. So now we are all alone. Yeah, why are they called shivers? I do not know.
I think they're called shivers because they wiggle.
Maybe.
So this has to end because it needs to turn 90 degrees from here.
It doesn't need to turn 90 degrees, does it?
Well, either this is the end or this.
Oh, this is that horrible mathematical reason why you should never use the word any in a logical statement, because it says which turn 90 degrees on any cells. And so it's unclear in that use of any whether the any means for every or the any means there exists. I read it as it can turn on those, but doesn't have to.
I read it,
but I
as
see
it
your
must
reading
turn.
as that it must turn. Does anyone who's solved a Shivers puzzle before know?
I mean,
which it means.
It certainly sees like it must turn.
It has to turn on every cell except N, says Rockrat.
Yeah.
So that is a positive, and there's certainly not all N's are given, I think.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so it must turn. So either it turns and goes into there, or it ends. Those are the two options.
Right.
So let's see here. We also have just a dead end in row 3 that we certainly know what happens there, and we know we can fill in a couple things. Row 3, column 7. So now that I understand the rules that I thought I understood, but did not in fact actually understand, then it has to do that, and then it has to turn because it's not length 3 yet.
Yep. This anytime there's like a tunnel, it must be an endpoint. So this is an endpoint, and this is an endpoint.
That's a great spot. Yes, our cloisters are always endpoints. Do we have any other cloisters? Row 3, column 4 is a cloister. So the point is, if this is not
for endpoints.
Yeah. Tristan's point is, if it's not an endpoint, then it can't turn because of the way that it is shaped. As Segnix in chat, whose screen name I just horribly butchered, says, row 9, column 8 is also a cloister. That's not row 9, column 8, but that I agree is also a cloister.
Oh.
Okay. So that gives us a lot more stuff. So it's my instinct is if row 2, column 2 isn't an endpoint. Oh yeah, that's very clever. Yep. That's very clever. I was about to say something that was going to get us, I think, to the point that this is going to get us a lot more easily. So now that just has to finish. The one you just did just has to finish, because otherwise we'd have something of length 2, which is what I was going to say, but in a really complicated way that you found a way more elegant way to handle.
And this has to turn now.
Correct. And now those two can't join.
They can't
so you
join.
Can put an X between them. Because if they join, look at what happens to row 1, column 6.
Yep. You come to row 1, column 7, and then you can't turn.
Correct. So this either ends or keeps going. Those are sort of the two options.
Oh, this must end. This ends now.
Oh, right, because it cast a turn, right. So it is done. Okay, right.
And now, how is this getting? It's got to do that.
I agree it's an end, and yep. So that's got to do... Wait, does that... I don't think that's true. Because... Oh, no, right. So there's also an end in row 1, column 8. That's the thing we have not marked. Row 1, column 7, and row 1, column 8. And now that makes your point clear. So that has to do that, and now this other one has to do the wiggle thing. Okay, I understand why they're called shivers now a lot more. So row 1, column 8. Oh, and thank you, Piotr V has donated. Thank you, Piotr V. I do not have a fantastic way of seeing the donations, but I will shout them out when I see them in chat. Row 1, column 8. Goes there and then turns.
Yes.
And so now row 3, column 9 can't go up, so it has to go down.
Correct. So
let's see. What else is happening? Do I have to count cells in the top right corner? I feel like if this is a Math Pesto puzzle, I would be counting cells in the top right corner, but I'm not 100% confident that it's going to do anything. But
like, this can't be an end, can it? If this were an end...
Yeah, I could see how it could work. It could be the end of a length 4 or a length 3 one. Yeah, that did something like that. Yep.
No, because now what?
Now they're just both done.
Oh,
that doesn't break any rules, does it?
I see.
Row
6, column 7. These are cloisters. Thank you, Malrog.
Fancy. Find all the corridors has not not gone well for our scanning. What would Simon say? We have not showered ourselves in glory with this. Let's see. Okay, so now row 3, column 5. It has to go somewhere, and it can't go left. Because if it went... Oh, sorry. Even if it does go left, it also goes down, is the correct thing. That is the the way to say it. Because if it goes left, it ends, and so it's not done yet, so it has to go down. It doesn't mean it has to go left, just that we have that. Yeah,
I agree this segment is in.
I'm told we got another donation. Thank you for the other donation. I'm not sure if the screen I'm looking at is accurate with its statement of
the Bandit.
The last
thank you for the $25.
Oh yes, thank you, Bandit. Okay.
I have the donations up, but they're over there, so I don't always immediately see them.
So row 3, column 3 always goes down, because if row 3, column 3 doesn't go down, then it's length 2. This is a fantastic introduction to this genre, by the way. Oh, and in fact, because it's length greater than 3, it always goes one more cell.
Yes.
So we've got that. So it always goes at least that far. Oh yes, you can green the length 5 ones, Casey points out. So you can make those green because we have 2 length 5 shivers. It might actually be helpful to, in general, put in some color each of the shiver lines that is done. But of course, only for ones that are length 5 do they get to be green. We have a raid from Carolyn Design. Welcome. And a new donation from Wisteria. Thank you, Wisteria. And this is a really cool puzzle so far. I feel like it's really hard to do a good version of a pencil puzzle for a genre that no one has done before, or not that no one has done before. A good intro pencil puzzle for someone who has not done that pencil puzzle genre before, and as someone who's never done this pencil puzzle genre before, this is really cool. Okay. I think row 5, column 7 Nope, nope, nope. Never mind. I was going to say something that I think was incorrect. Let's see. What else can we do? It's making your eyes cross, Wilma. Yeah, it is always a mind-bending experience when you do a genre for the first time. What about row 4, column 1, Martin? I assume that's, yeah. I think we have 2 Martins in our stream, so I'm guessing this is one of the Martins, but it could be a third Martin. But I'm not sure I see what to do with that cell. Okay. So no.
And then goes down.
Oh, I think the row 6. Sorry, row 6. No, never mind. I think I have a complicated point, but I don't think the complicated point is worth making. Let's see.
So,
right.
So here, row 4, column 1. I see Dancer's point. If row 4, column 1 goes right, this cell breaks. So
yes.
So it's actually an endpoint.
Thank you to Martin and Danzar for that. And so now it turns, and that tells us. Oh, I guess that doesn't tell us that this other one up here ends, because it could join to that one still.
Yeah, they could join.
But now row 6, column 1 is an end.
Yep.
And so it comes out.
Let's see. We can mark as ends all of these cells.
And now you can draw an X into row 6, column 3. Because now row 6, column 3 only has 2 directions it can go. Because it can't go left, because it would create a straight line by the logic we have been doing.
Yes.
And so now it always goes down because it can't only go right.
Because it's part of a 6.
Correct.
Yep. Thank you to Amy Steele for the $25 donation.
Greatly appreciated. Okay, so that was a nice flurry of things that made me feel like we were on to something. So one thing I was noticing about row 7, column 7 is that it's always going to sort of knock out 2 of these circles immediately. So it's going to be part of a length 3 line no matter what.
Yeah, it's going to connect.
And then the other 2 are going to be interesting. I'm trying to decide if one of them is like, if one of these doesn't go through the circle, is it a problem? Or sorry, if one of these goes out. So 2 of these go in and 2 of them go out is the point. But I was trying to decide if any of them immediately break if they go out. And I don't see any that immediately break if they go out, but perhaps chat does.
If this Knala points out that if this is a connection, it breaks the 6 line, because then the 6 line has to be 5.
Beautiful, beautiful. And of course, that also can't go down in row 7, column 3.
Right. So
now it always goes right, because it's not length 6 yet, even if it takes the other piece that it could take. So our 6 clues are not the same.
And it still turns. This isn't an end, and it can't go up, and it can't go right, so it goes down.
Very good.
Because if it ends here, then it's length 5. If it goes up, it's still length 5. So it goes down.
Wait, did I just trick you? I might have completely tricked you.
It's just that this line wasn't justified. But
Oh,
the
oh,
rest
oh.
of this is fine.
I see. Okay. Uh, I wish that greater than 3 in row 3 was a greater than 4, because then I would know what to do with it. Okay, well, here's the thing. We know that 6 clue does not join the 5 clue. So row 8, column 4 does not turn into the 5 clue because 5 and
That's
6
true.
are different numbers. And so now that cell with the 5 on it is an end because we've created a cloister.
Yes.
Which it turns out is a fancy word for hallway. If this goes up, it can make a length 5 thing, unfortunately. Which is unfortunate.
It can't go up.
Oh, right. It can't go up. Right. It has to turn. Right. Correct. So it goes down. Thank you, chat, for reminding me of the rules of the puzzle yet again. I am not good at rules of this puzzle, apparently. So now row 7, column 5 always goes up. Because it can't only go right, or it would only be length 2. But that still doesn't tell me a whole lot. I don't think yet. But we are getting somewhere on the thing. I think row 8, column 1 always goes down. No, maybe not. Sorry, because I was thinking it would have to turn into the circle, but it doesn't have to turn into the circle. Annoyingly.
LM Demasi points out that if this goes right, it's going to be max 4 length. So it actually goes left.
Beautiful, beautiful. And it can't join the 6 still.
Right.
So it can't go up. Yeah, and it can't end.
And it can't end, so it goes down.
Correct.
And it still continues.
Yep. It's got one more cell to grab.
So it takes one of these.
And now row 11, column 4 is an end.
Sorry, what?
Row 11, column 4 is now an end. So we know some stuff it does, which is going to force what the 5 line does.
Right, because this now can't go up. So it does that and that.
That. And in fact, we know how it finishes because it's length greater than 3.
Yeah, and if it goes left, that breaks the 5, right?
Right. That will not be length 5. Yeah. It will be length 7.
That is done. So
and the 5 is now done.
Yes, the 5 is done. It'll be these.
The 10 clumps Shivers puzzle is coming soon to a theater near you. Micro study. Let's see. So now we've got some new dead ends in row 9, column 6, and row 11, column 6 that we can do some stuff with.
Agree. Now this one must go up,
creating another dead end that we can.
So this one has
extend.
to come out.
Indeed.
And this end can't go left, so it comes out.
Right. And the one in row 11, column 9 goes up.
The one in row... Yes.
Okay. I have not yet Jim Sudoku, although I might.
Ilm says this is an end. Does it break? If it breaks, that's quite a chain, I feel like. Oh, no, it can't turn, so it is an end.
Right. My brain is not great at seeing the it can't turn thing. And so now row 9, column 7 goes up.
And so that's
done.
Done. So, whoops. So this is definitely
we get a digit dance for 9s. Yeah, that's definitely a line. I agree.
So this now is an end. Because it's
correct.
Now
yep. It's now a hallway. I feel like we can probably do some sort of parity math over in the lower left corner, but I'm kind of also inclined to put it off. But it might be useful at some point. If someone in chat wants to do the parity math and tell me what I need to do to get the 6, I will be happy to do it.
It's been pointed out that this can't go down, otherwise this is a straight line, so it goes up.
That's true. And now we know which way it goes, and so x is 5 now. Oh, unless x is 3. So x is 3 or x is 5. One of those is true.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it could just be length 3. Yeah, Acid Helm is correct. It could be 3. Okay, so now row 11, column 11 can't go up, is the point. If row 11, column 11 goes up, then it has to be length 4, and we know x for sure isn't 4.
Oh, that's cute. So it comes this way and this way.
Correct.
Knala is correct that if this goes right, then it is length 5.
Yep. Beautiful.
So it goes left.
Yep.
And this is an end. So that is now done.
Beautifully spotted, Kanala. Also, we now know that row 10, column 9 doesn't join because x is not 6. So we actually get another end and another completed piece down there.
Row 10, column 9 doesn't join.
Right, so that's an end. And so that is that. I think you can actually finish the greater than 5 in row 5, column 7.
Oh, right, because it has to...
Sorry, that one's my fault, because I was trying to finish the thing we did down in row 11, column 11. You'd have gotten it if I had not pointed it out. Okay, and so now that's great, because it tells us what happens to our greater than 3. Okay, I think this is going to actually make it so we don't have to do the thing I was trying to avoid doing with the 6. Because we can now finish
that connects that and finishes.
Correct. Or maybe we still do. Maybe it did not help at all with the thing happening with the 6.
Oh, okay. We just got a subscription. Thank you, Lombardo.
Thank you very much, Lombardo. Great to have you.
Over on YouTube.
Chat can see our dancing dinosaur probably now.
Yep.
Yeah, it is possible that we can finish on the right and clear up what is happening with the world. But I'm not quite sure. Is there something we can do at the top right corner? If row 3, column 11 goes up, I think it breaks. Yeah, it does. Look at what happens if row 3, column 11 goes up.
Okay. I just saw a good point in chat about this, but I will look at your thing first. So
it goes up. Oh no, it could, because it could be length 5. Okay, never mind. Sorry, my point is wrong. It would have to be length 5, but it could be length 5.
Let's look at chat's thing, because if this goes up, then how do you make this 6 work?
Well, the line just can't go up because lines aren't allowed to do that thing you just drew on the grid.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so we know this doesn't go up. If this goes up, then how do we make the 6 work?
Okay, yeah. So that is true. So yeah, if we do that now and we try and make the 6 work, we can't. It'll only end up being 5.
Or big. Oh no, 5. It's
yes.
Yeah. So this doesn't go up. So this is done.
Mm-hmm. And so now, assuredly, that 6 takes all 6 of those cells. So the other 6 can't take any of those cells, and so the other 6 is finished.
Oh, like this?
Yep. Even I can handle counting that group of cells to make that deduction. Hey, Jubilee, welcome.
Yes.
So row 6, column 3 finishes.
So we get that.
And so now that length 3 one is going to get us this plus resolved.
Right. So now we get this.
Yep.
That's done.
And so now that's done. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Is this the original Shivers puzzle? I do not actually know if this is a standard genre of which Wisteria has made an example, or if this is the first one.
This has to go up by uniqueness. Otherwise, you don't know how this resolves. That's
Wisteria did invent it, but this is the second puzzle in the invented genre. Okay, less than 5. So row 6, column 9. Not quite. I thought it was going to be forced to go crash into the 5, but it can actually make a square. Annoyingly, if you go down, because that certainly can't join the 5.
Yeah, but we could.
Yeah, Niv used uniqueness on one of my puzzles one time, so I think it's fair game to use uniqueness on Niv puzzles. So I'm trying to find like some weird commonality between the universe where X is 3 and the universe where X is 5. So for example, in both universes, there's a vertical line between row 9, column 11 and row 10, column 11. Because if X is 3, then that line is now that cell is now isolated, and so it has to go up. And in the universe where X is 5, that's just what the thing does.
Do you mean row 8 and row 9?
No, I mean row 10 and row 9, column 11.
Oh, here.
So there's always a line there, correct? In both universes. Oh, thank you for the donation, Glum Hippo. I believe there's been a Glum Hippo donation.
Yes, $10.77.
$270 to go to hit the stretch goal. So let's get it done. I'm trying to...
Row 7, column 9 has to go right.
I think I have a horrible chain.
There are 3 cases here, and in all cases, see, either this connects up, in which case it goes right, or it connects down, in which case it goes
It
right.
can't connect down. That's not allowed. That would create a vertical line.
Oh,
you know
it can't
not
connect down. So either it connects up or it's a dead end, but this is a line.
Right, because of that. Okay, so now that line actually helps a lot because now x can't be 5. Because if x is 5, you might want to just draw this in the bifurcation palette. If x is 5, then look at what happens at the lower right. We have that x close. Oh, no, never mind. It's just okay. No, it's not okay. Because now look at what happens to row 8, column 11.
Wow. Wait.
That you have a straight line. It's already broken.
Oh.
Wow,
that's a bit of a chain.
I saw it in my head, but when I saw it in my head, it worked differently, I'll admit. But it still was broken in my head.
It's Vizzy has the much better point that once you actually have a line, you can do this.
And so row 7, column 11 is a... I mean, we could have been doing that the whole time, the thing with x's.
Yes.
But does that get us there? So row 7, column 11...
Oh, Vizzy is Wisty.
Is an endpoint now. And if it goes down, it becomes 5, but its length can't possibly be 5.
Yeah.
Because of the other forced segment that we had, so it has to go up.
Agree.
And
so this is an end.
That is length 5.
And it has to turn.
Yep. So now x just is 3.
So we get these endpoints. X is 3. I agree. So let's see. This is a 5, so it gets greened. It's a 3.
The way I saw it in my head was wrong. In my head, it broke 1 second or 1 step sooner than that. But then once Tristan actually drew it in, it turned out that there was a possibility I had not accounted for.
So that turns, and this can't go down now.
Right, because then the 5 would be isolated.
Well, then this less than 5.
This is just broken, isn't it? Oh, no, sorry, that's a less than 5. Sorry, it's a less than 5, not a 5. Okay, good.
So this is actually a 3.
Right. Okay. And now the x is a 3 for whatever that is worth.
So
It does seem like it would be easy to make a Philomeno Whispers hybrid.
Philomeno Shivers hybrid, you mean?
Sorry, Philomeno Shivers hybrid. Yes, that.
So, okay. If this comes up,
it works really nicely. Okay, so if row 3, column 11 comes down, how is x ever being x, which needs to be 3? I think it doesn't work.
Row 3, column 11 comes down.
So then it would have to do... I think it just takes up too many cells. And now there just aren't 3 cells for that 3-cell line to have 3 cells.
Yes, you are correct. So this goes up and...
turns.
And
so now it must do the P pentomino thing. And so we get another green omino for Casey.
And this is done.
Yep. And now if row 5, column 11 goes left, it breaks pretty rapidly in both instances. Because it either goes up or goes down and both break immediately.
Yep. So
because I'm using here that x is 3. There we go.
So that's done.
Yep.
You get to color it.
Et puis voila.
Yes.
Lovely puzzle, Wisteria. I really enjoyed that one.
And we are up to $4,925 after a $175 donation by Tallcat. Thank you, Tallcat.
Ooh, thank you, Tallcat.
$75 to go to the stretch goal.
Thank you so much, Tallcat. We're getting there. 75 to go.
Oops.
And thank you again so much to Wisteria. This is a great puzzle. This gets my setting juices flowing. I want to go back and try and make some horrifying hybrid of this with something. Okay, so next puzzle, apparently we're going to have the magic cell highlighting thing working.
Yes.
But you have to click the link there.
Let's see. Okay, this is not the same link. Let me...
The streaming machine is making a funny noise.
Wait, no, that's... Oh, is there one on Discord? Is that... Ah, yes.
Okay, let's get row and column labels off before anyone has a panic attack. Looking at this grid.
Row, column labels.
Excellent. By the way, hello everyone. Welcome. If you have come in since we started, welcome.
Yes. We will be continuing stream after the SudokuCon stream over at youtube.com/ZetaMathDoesPuzzles. So
yes, we do this 3 days a week. So if you enjoy this and want to hang out with us, by all means, please do. And I am told now that people see the highlight.
Oh.
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Perfect. Okay, so we have, it's just a pure look and say little killer. So each clue tells you how many times that digit appears on that diagonal. So for example, this 23 clue, if Tristan wants to highlight it, is telling you that there's 2 3s, and the other clue is telling you there's 2 8s in these cells. So these cells are all 3 or 8, if we want to immediately do our example. But that's the whole rule set. There are no further examples, or sorry, no further examples. There are no further rules than that. Let's see. So okay. There are 4 9s and 4 3s on this diagonal. if you highlight that 49 clue. And we know that one is not. How many cells are there total on this diagonal?
8.
That are...
So these are all...
So that has to be a 3.
Yep.
And so we get our 3 dance from the Digit Dancing Penguin. Ba-boop-ba-doop. Woo! Ba-doop-ba-doop. Woo! Ba-doop-ba-doop. Waha! Waha! Thank you, Zachary. Thank you very much. Getting to dance for an even larger audience than usual. He is preening and delighted by it. Okay, so then we can fill in a 9 in row 8, column 1.
I mean, there are a lot more than 2 penguins, Clover. I mean, look behind Zeta.
We also have an anteater, and we have a 9 in row 8, column 1.
Row 8, column 1.
Because you said everything on this line is a 3 or a 9.
Yep.
So we can fill in our 3 9s. Or a bunch of zeros. A bunch of zeros works just as well. A bunch of penguins and an anteater. Okay.
Why do you never watch our streams? I think we're gonna get a similar thing going on here.
Yep. 4 8s and 4 1s, and there are 8 cells. So yep. So we get all of those are 1 or 8. You don't seem to have conflict checker on. The 1 8 up
it
in
is
row
on
2, you don't have check pencil marks on. The 1 8 in row 3, sorry, pointing up there, you know how it resolves now. In fact, you know how that and the 1 3 work. So row 2, column 9, for example. Look at the clues pointing at that. So that is an 8, and the other one above it is a 3 to make those work. Okay. So 3 1 3 9s.
Oh, did we Thank you, Deet Deet Doot. I wonder who that is.
This puzzle reminds me a lot of one some of my students set. Yes. Okay, so just de-highlight the cells of those that can't be won by Sudoku alone. So that one can't be, that one can't, why not that one? Oh yeah, that one can't be.
So 1 in
yeah,
the column.
row 3, column 4 has 1 in the row. And so not both. Oh, maybe those both could be. I'm trying to articulate why the 2 middle ones there can't both be 1s. But maybe not quite. But highlight those cells in a color just so that we don't have to do this again. 3 of those are 1s. Three. There's also 3 9s on this diagonal. Is there anything interesting about the fact that there's 3 9s on this diagonal?
Let's see.
That one could be.
We also have 4 cells that
there's
can be
also
9s.
4 spots. So yeah, you can highlight those too. Why not? $25 to go. Excellent.
Thank you for the $30 donation from Mixo.
Thank you, Mixo. Yes, be a part of history and be the one who donates to bring us up to $10,000.
Wisteria got us there. $69. Nice, Wisteria. Bringing us to $5,044.
Thank you. Nice.
I agree,
this is a lot better than.
This
Uh,
is superior to traditional Little Killer. Oh, we should get a goal dance.
a goal dance. Woohoo! Thank you, Zach. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. It's great to do nothing and then just come in and get to be here to celebrate people making the goal. So thank you, everyone, for all your support.
And we will be doing dances every time we hit another $100 after 5,000. And we're almost there because we just got a $50 donation from Jeff. So one more donation, we'll get another dance.
Let's see. So yeah, there's some interaction there. We might want to start like ketchuping some of the 3 9s or something, because for example, we know that the 3 9 in row 6 column 3 is different than the 3 9 in row 6 column 3. So we know that if we go to pencil mark row 3 column 3, for instance, that cell can't be 3 or 9, and it can't be 1 or 8 either. So it's sort of running out of options as to what it can actually be.
My mind is blown because you just said row 6 column 3 is different from row 6 column 3, and
row 3 column 6, row 6 column 3, and row 3 column 6 are different. It's the same cells, just with their coordinates reversed.
Yeah, but that's not what you said, so my brain exploded.
It's just like I tell my students, you're not responsible for what I say, you're responsible for what I meant. Let's see.
And
okay,
yeah, because these are different, these also have to be different.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out, I think the correct deduction is going to be something like that, but I don't yet know exactly which version of it we're meant to be looking at. But the fact that we have that 3-8 pair that's different also is very interesting.
And this 1-8 pair is also different.
Yes, see, that 1-8 pair is also different. That's true. I'm looking for a cell that these things see that is interesting. I don't, strictly speaking, want to just do that. Jubilee asks, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, asks what level I teach. I teach college math of various sorts, from calculus on up to number theory, abstract algebra stuff. I'm teaching abstract algebra this semester, which is a lot of fun for those of you who've adventured into that world before. Let's see. Oh, is Tristan streaming Orb 2 after this? I'll watch that. Two Bros Orb 2 is a palindrome. That's perfect. 2 4s. I'm teaching combinatorics next semester. So I do love combinatorics as well. I sort of consider combinatorics and algebra both to sort of live in the discrete math genre, where they have a lot to do with each other. I remember my first or one of my first abstract algebra professors saying at the beginning that finite group theory is nothing but combinatorics, which is, I think, basically true. What on earth are we meant to be doing here?
Row 2, column 3, and row 5, columns. I think you mean row. Wait. 5 cannot both be 1.
It would rule 1 out of box 4.
Wow.
Somewhat amazingly.
So that puts ones in these cells.
It does. That is a hell of a thing there.
So that's
That
not
is not
one.
one. Right. Okay. And you have a 3-8 that you can resolve in row 6, column 1. But someone should make that cell flash instead of letting him just do it. And that by ketchup, that 9 places a 3 in box 2. Okay. That was very slick.
Now,
that was a hilarious spot. I have to do that.
That was
ketchup
amazing.
is my reference to the red O and X, which we can get rid of now. But I always use the red O and X, and I almost always start with red and yellow and call them ketchup and mustard. Because I'm weird. No, I really don't. Let's see. One is placed in box 4. Thank you, Garioni. Much appreciated. And now it's in one of 2 places in box 1, so we might as well corner mark it. And in one of 2 places in box 2, so we should corner mark it. Yes, we have stream names for almost all of the various elements of Sudoku Pad that have not necessarily seen wide adoption, we'll say. You know, it literally did not occur to me that Garioni and Garion sound very similar. And that possibly there might be a relation there.
Where does 8 go in box 9? Points out Tallcat. That's huge.
Ha 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 ha. Gorgeous Tallcat. So 999. 3.
Okay, now what?
Yes. That 21 clue does tell you that needs to be a 1 because it's the only place that there can be a 1 in the rest of the puzzle. So now all the 1s are done.
Ones can be blue. 9s can be pink.
Excellent. But what color can 5s be, Tristan? Let's see. 5 and 1, 7. On this main diagonal. Yeah, that 0-2 clue. I've spent way more time looking at it than it deserves. No, 9 in box 8 is placed. Or as Knolly says, not pink in box 8, which works just as well. And now it can be corner marked into the remaining 2 boxes that it has not yet been. And now this is the perfect stream puzzle because now chat can tell us where the random clue is that crosses one of those 9s. And we don't have to look for it.
This one does. This is it. You get a 9 there.
But we could have had chat interaction instead. But yes, I agree. That does it. I also agree with Casey that 3 in box 1 is placed. We should give 3s a color because there's so many of them.
Threes?
Yep.
Threes can be dark blue.
So you can corner mark. Oh, you can just place 3 in box 6. And then you can corner mark 3s in 2 remaining places. And then we can again play the which clue looks at these cells game. Maybe there isn't one. Maybe there isn't one. Let's give 8s a color as well, because we've got a bunch of those as well.
8s can be yellow.
We can corner mark 8 in box 4.
You can place.
We can place 8 in that box, which is good. And then we can corner mark 8 in the remaining 2 boxes that don't have an 8 yet, but have always wanted an 8. For all of you out there who've always wanted an 8, you can relate to these 2 boxes. Yeah, this is a very fun little puzzle. I would pencil mark row 1, just because at some point we're just going to have something that's going to be a naked single, and we're just never going to see it if we don't do it. I don't think mark will work, will it? Yeah, mark almost worked, actually.
It was everything but 4.
There we go.
I think this is right.
Okay. It did absolutely nothing. But at some point, there's going to be a naked single somewhere. I go to sleep for one night. Dude? I go to sleep for one night, and I miss the whole advent of the Deet Doot meme. Let's see.
Oh, it's dance time.
Oh.
Donate $6 donation by B.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. And thank you for all the donations that keep coming in. B and the many others that got us to another $100. At some point, we're going to have to work and make sure we don't accidentally put more than 1 5 and 1 7 on that diagonal that only has 1 5 and 1 7.
That's true.
Which I've been looking at for
It's like, if this is 5, while, it places 5 in box 5 because of that. So that's a really fun cross-grid interaction.
Yep. Yeah, why have we not greened the 5 yet? That is a good question.
We can green the 5 for Casey.
Yeah, so we have sort of, if you look at it actually, in box 5, corner mark 5 and corner mark 7, because I think this might actually be what we're supposed to look at. There's 3 cells for each of them.
What now?
In box 5. There are 3 cells for 5 and 3 cells for 7, and I think we should corner mark them.
Okay, 5s can go here.
Yep, and
7s can go here.
There. Right. So if we put none of them on the diagonal in that box, then it's then it doesn't work. It's broken.
So there is A5 or A7.
So yeah, so there's definitely A5 or A7 on this, and possibly both.
Whoa! $250 by Gnarf. That gets us 2 more dances.
Thank you, Gnarf. Woohoo! Woohoo! Thank you so much, Gnarf. Greatly appreciated.
Double dance.
Thank you. So what do we do with the fact that there's A5 or A7? So that means there's A5 or A7. Actually, there's 3 total 5 7s that are off the diagonal in boxes 1 and 9. at least. There could be 4. So maybe that's something we can look at. So in box 1, how many 5 7s can I place off of the diagonal? So, and I don't think there's a huge problem with placing 2, although it might be more restricted than it looks somehow, because 7 only goes in 2 places off the diagonal. So if there's not a 7 on the diagonal, that's a 7-8 pair.
Garion says this being 5 breaks pencil marked 5 in box 9. Then column 8 and box 3.
I'm going to take a real quick break. I'll be right back, but you can keep going.
Let's see, where's 5? 5 in row 4. If it's here, right, this definitely can't be 5. This can't be 5 for what reason? Oh, right there. I totally did not see that clue ever in this entire puzzle. So in fact, this is not 5. I guarantee you Zeta Math didn't see that clue either. That's true. 5 now only in these cells in box 4. Yeah, I was looking at that 0-2 clue, not hugely sure what to do with it. Zeta Math, we made a little progress. Chat informed me of the existence of the 0-5 clue, which meant that 5 has to go in one of these cells, and so cannot go there.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
We are asked where 2 goes in box 7. Not here on the 0-2 clue. Not here. So 2 goes in one of these in box 7. Let's give 2s a color. 2s can be purple.
Thank you, B. Good to be back after such a long break. Got those 2 8s. So we've got a 5 and an 8. Sort of like almost looks like we're trying to make a triple in row 5 somehow. Like there's some other digit that's got to join the 5 and the 8 in those 3 cells. I don't know that there is, but I would like there to be. Do hippos like moss? Does moss grow on hippos? I'm not sure if that's true. It seems like the kind of thing that could be true. 5 only goes in 3 places in that column. A rolling hippo gathers no moss. I definitely believe that. Let's see.
But 5 doesn't go here in the column because that's on the 0, 5 clue. So 5 only goes in these cells in the column.
Okay. So 5 only goes in 2 places in the column. That's very good.
And likewise, 2 only goes in these cells in the column.
I think we got off to such a good start, and now we seem.
I wish we could mark off these clues when they're done.
Would be handy.
Oh. Knala says 7 here breaks.
It places 7 in column 2 in box 4.
Go away. Yeah. Yeah, 7 would go here.
In row 2 in box 2.
Row 1 in box 1. And
sorry. I was saying where it went in box
or row 3 in box 1, then a 7 would go here.
But now 7 can't be placed in box 6.
Yes. Ugh.
Yeah, there's some intelligent way to think about all these plus signs that I do not wholly understand. Yeah, like I guess the point is 7 is in one of 2 places in row 2, and maybe that is interesting. So, is it at all interesting that 7 is in one of 2 places in row 2 and they both see row 8 column 8? So row 8 column 8 is never a 7. Is that at all interesting? I cannot imagine how it could be, but it seems like the kind of thing that if we applied in the right way or combined with the right thing would be useful.
Oh. 5 in the same 2 places.
But we don't have 7 in one of those 2 places. That's not what we proved.
Oh.
But the fact that 5 is in one of those 2 places does prove that row 2, column 2 is never a 5, for whatever it's worth. So if you want to corner mark 5 in box 1, that's not the 5.
Great.
5 only in 5 places in the box, I believe. Oh, only in 4 places in the box, I believe. Let's see.
Tall Cat sees something. Isn't row 2...
It would be huge if that was true. Okay, so one of those two in the row is a 7, and one of those two in the column is a 5. That's not a 5 or a 7. That's a 5, and that's a 7. I don't think so.
Yeah, this isn't a 5, so...
Oh, no. Okay, so this is smart. So you need to highlight the relevant cells: row 2, column 2, row 2, column 8, and row 8, column 8. And so one of those two in the row is a 7, and one of those two in the column is a 5. So that means that either row 2, column 2 is a 7, or row 8, column 8 is a 5.
But not both.
One of those things is for sure true. And so that eats up all our 5s and 7s on the diagonal. Because remember, we know there's 1 in box 5, which means
so this
that row
isn't
3,
a 5.
column 6 is definitely a 5 or 7, because we can't put 2 of them there.
What?
Sorry, row 4, column 6 is definitely a 5 or 7, because we can no longer put 2 of them. You can still leave the corner mark. The corner mark is still true. But that one is definitely actually a 5 or a 7. And so, yeah, so that's a 4 or a 6, and nothing else anywhere on the diagonal is a 5 or 7.
This must also be a 5 or a 7.
Yes, because you can't put both of them off of that. Yes, so that's also
Thank
a
you,
5
Carl.
or a 7. I agree.
And these are different 5 7s? Or are they the same 5 7?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, they must be different 5 7s.
I don't think I can do this in my head.
Yeah, they're different. Because these are the ones that are off the diagonal. The other two 5 7s are on the diagonal.
Right. Okay,
so the other two are different, so these are also different.
I think I believe that.
So we can catch up these?
Yep. We should definitely full on catch up them. So 7 in row 4 is now very restricted. It's only in one of 2 places.
7 where?
Only in 2 places in row 4. Because it can't go in row 4, column 8 anymore because of ketchup.
Right. So it's in one of
either
these.
X or it's there.
So if this is 7, then this is 7.
That seems plausible. It's hard for me to keep track of that kind of link in my head.
I don't think that's a problem, though. We do get a few, like, if we mark this box...
that cell's not 7, so it's 4 or 6.
Oh, so 7 goes here.
What?
Or am I
What
insane?
did you do? Row 4, column 8 isn't 7. Why are the others not 7?
Right. One of these is 5. Ugh. this is 4 or 6, at least.
Yes.
Seven hasn't been graced with a color yet. Seven can be red.
I mean, it is one of the red ketchup colors, so it makes sense for it to be red.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about these 3 cells. What can we say about this cell? Where can 5 go in column 4 and column 6? So 5 in one of these places in column 4.
Can't it also go in row 2, column 4?
It cannot because of the 0-5 clue.
Ah, right, okay.
And in column 6, 5 could go here.
Now it can go in row 2, column 6, though, right? Oh, no, it can't go there because of the 5-7 ketchup. That cell sees both ketchups.
So it is relevant that these are different.
Yes, so it is relevant
so now we,
to that cell. So now we have a Zach wing on 5s.
Yes. And
so therefore one of those 2 cells is 5 in box 2.
So then this can't be 5. That's the point. That rules out, this is a Zach wing. Yep. This rules out this from being 5.
Yep, that works.
So that means this is 5.
It's not an actual X-wing because it's only in 2 boxes.
But it does point in the row.
Is the distinction. A Zach wing is just what we call deductions that you get out of corner marks in 2 boxes because it's not technically an X-wing.
And this was kind of an X-wingy deduction going this way, though.
I mean, the logic is very similar.
So now we know that's a 7.
It's logically distinct. So that's
that's a 5.
And so now 7 is just placed in row 2.
And now
we seem to have a 5 down here.
Let's see, 5s were green. 7s don't have a color. 7s can be the other green. Garion saying this is not many things.
We have our naked single now.
Let's have Mark tell us what it is. Somebody highlighted this cell.
About that.
Malrog.
Over on Discord, Isabella is drawing many forms of Zach. We now have a geological Zach and a Zach die, which I'm very excited by.
We might have to have some new emotes.
We will definitely have some new emotes from the delightful Zach pictures.
This is resolved by the 0-2 clue.
Chad is scandalized by the fact that you have changed the color of 7 from red to green.
Oh no!
The worst possible thing to change it from as well.
Well, 4s can be green. So I believe this is our first green, 4. Yes. Yes. Now we need to fit 2 4s on this diagonal. We're not quite there yet.
Doesn't quite feel like a problem yet. Why don't we fill in this triple in box 8? That seems like the kind of thing that would be helpful. Tristan does not want to fill it in. Uh, can you just hit the mark button and fill that in? And then note that the 1 isn't 2 because of the diagonal clue, so it's a 3, 7. And then left in the column are 4, 6, and something. You can just mark the column too if you want. It's 4,
Sure.
6, and some other undisclosed digit.
2.
No, 2 is in the column already in the box down below. So there's no 2s there. It's just 4, 5, 6. Okay.
So that's the 5.
So that's the 5 is the point.
And I think we can place more 5s by Sudoku.
Yep, we can place it in box 1 now.
5 is placed here. So that's a 3. So that gives us a 2, 7 pair here. So that's a 3.
5 also placed in box 1. Trying to make a very scandalous 5 that was trying to be purple.
So we get a 5 here.
Yep, and the last one in box 7, I think. And now I think you could probably just mark the grid.
Sure.
How bad could it
the
be?
one thing that we haven't looked at is the 2 4s on this diagonal, but
Oh, I'm not saying that that we don't need to use the clues anymore. I'm just saying that there are so many cells that are so restricted, and if there's any naked singles, I want to know about it, and we're just not going to know about it unless we mark.
We get an 8 here by pencil mark, and an 8 here by pencil mark. Is that all our 8s?
Very nice.
Yes. Okay, we can.
I think the cooking is done now, and now we're just letting it steep before we eat it.
That's a 2. Four,
Excellent,
7
excellent.
pair.
So that has
that's
placed
a
2 in box 7. Yep, as well as 6.
That's a 7.
Yep. So got a bunch of stuff down there.
Yeah, but I have to make sure I keep my coloring right.
Oh,
Do we
yeah,
even have a
absolutely.
color for 6s?
No, even though there was a 6 in the given puzzle, we have not yet deemed to color
6s can be orange.
They get a cool color to make up for the fact that they had to wait so long to be colored.
What about
I think that's fair.
4s?
4s
What
also
color-
have no color.
What color is left?
And that is going to resolve the 2-4 clue, by the way.
Let's see, 2 and 7 is red, and this is the other color on my screen that is not here.
It's the
Blue, pink, dark blue, purple, red.
Nope, we've used every color, I am convinced.
Oh, 4s are green.
4s are the second green, right? Okay.
4s are the other green.
And so second green 4 goes in box 5 because of the 2-4 diagonal. That diagonal needs 2 4s, and it didn't get one from box 7, so it has to get one from both box 5 and box 2. Sorry,
Agree.
box 3.
So that is a purple 2.
Spend your bits like they're going out of style. That's what you got to do.
And 6s are orange. Might fill in the digits and then fill in the colors at the end.
Seems like a dignified way to do it. Just before the last digit goes in.
Yeah,
So that
makes
nothing
sense.
untoward happens. There's a 2 in row 5, column 8.
Thank you.
And we know that there's a 2 in row 1, column 7, because if that was a 4, we'd break our 24 clue. Because we need 2 4s on that diagonal, and we can't have it otherwise. And so now it is, now row 1, column 7 is a naked 2 because of Sven.
Okay, there's some clue somewhere.
Have you been awake all 24 hours, Clover?
The other main diagonal. Ah, that can't be 7. Thank you.
Right.
Who said that? I just... Afraid Not. It was Afraid Not.
Excellent.
Okay, so 4s are dark green, 6s are orange, 2s are purple, 7s are red. That will be an orange 6.
Woohoo! Nice puzzle. Thank you, everyone.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed.
Oh, and we passed another $100 thanks to Malrog.
Let's get another donation dance. Woohoo! Woohoo! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. And thank you, Malrog.
Gnarf says, just wanted to tell a little story about the generosity of my donation. My dad was a math professor and we loved doing the Sudoku puzzles from the paper together when we would go out for breakfast. My parents always saved up a little money to put towards education / empowering people who didn't have the same opportunities as they did, so I try to find some thematic things to donate to as Christmas times near every year in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Frang.
That's awesome, Narf.
Very nice.
I'm glad Sudoku means so much to you. Alrighty.
Our stream is finishing here. I don't know, Clover, Karen, are you going to do an outro for this stream? Is that the plan?
Clover says, hold on, that was an accident. I don't know what that was in this case. Oh, did Clover accidentally shut the stream off?
Oh no.
I don't know what happened. Oh, you blacked out briefly. I see, we're back. So what's going to happen now, I believe, is that we're going to go head over to our stream. So if you don't know, our stream is youtube.com/ZetaMathDoesPuzzles, where we stream
I'm getting an ad break.
But we're going to continue. We've got another couple hours of streaming to do today, so we're going to head over there, and I hope you'll join us over there. It'd be great to see some of you new folks, as well as to see all of you who we love, who we see every time. So anyway, the chat will be over there, and we'll be streaming over there, and I hope you'll join us.
Is there a mod that can put a link to our stream in the chat?
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much.
It's youtube.com/ZetaMathDoesPuzzles.
Very happy to help.
Does puzzles. Oh, did we get another donation? Jeff, $55.55. Very nice.
Ooh, wow.
Thank you,
Making
Jeff.
it $5,555.55. That's awesome.
Yes, after party over at Zeta Math Does Puzzles. Thank you for the link, Clover.
Thank you so much. Glad to have been a part of this. This was awesome. Craig loves puzzles. Craig solves puzzles. Approves of the name Zeta Math Does Puzzles. That's awesome, Craig. I love that. We are going to miss the magic ability to highlight cells.
Yeah, that was
my
nice.
reading cell names, and it does not go so well. The party after the party, indeed. Something something. The party don't stop till something something.
All right.
Yes, as Amy says, thank you to everyone who did all the real work. Karen, Clover, Glipral, Demano, all the people behind the scenes who've been doing all of this stuff. So
World Peon, Sven.
Ain't no party like a Zeta party. I did once on teaching evaluations have a student write, "There's no class like a Zeta class." The After Party, Season 3.
All right. Yes. Thank you, SudokuCon, and we were so happy to take part in this.
Yes, yes, and it's. I look forward to seeing you all. It will be very fun.
All right.
It has indeed been fabulous.
Okay, now we are live over on YouTube.
Excellent, excellent. Welcome to people in our new medium. Over here, where we
get
do
my
more
YouTube
puzzles.
chat up here. Da-dum.
Should we do this build your own region sumlines puzzle by Math Pesto? I'm excited about that one.
Yes, let's do it.
I think that will be appropriate.
I would like to take a brief break first.
Do please like the stream over here on YouTube, by the way. It is greatly appreciated. P-Win's already subscribed. Excellent, excellent. But yes, if you are new around here, please do consider subscribing. We do appreciate it. It helps. Math Pesto likes the idea of us doing Math Pesto's Build Your Own Region Sumlines puzzle. I was very excited when I heard about it earlier, so I think it will be fun to do.
I am... let's see. Okay, let's unpin this Twitch thing. Let's have Streamlabs no longer give links to the SudokuCon. Get my
Thank you, Alex.
thing ready.
Thank you, TTSM. Welcome. We are still live, right? I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, I do believe we are live.
MicroStudy is requesting Silver Waves as the break music. But yes, welcome new subs. You seem live to me. Excellent. Wow, Mr. Don, that's amazing. What puzzle is it? You should post it in the Discord. I'm excited. 10,000 solves is a lot of solves. I don't think I've ever had a puzzle get 10,000 solves. That's awesome. Welcome, Eric. Glad to have you over from the SudokuCon stream. Great to have you. I hope you will stick around and enjoy yourself. Well, I know Tristan said he wanted to go on a brief break, but then I wasn't sure if we actually had, because he's the one who presses the magic break button. So I'm just going to keep talking, and then eventually he's going to go on break, and I'm going to be talking to no one and not realize it. That's probably what's going to happen.
Well, I just want to get some water. So if you want to keep talking to chat, if you don't need a break, I can just...
I'm happy to keep talking to chat. I'll just drink my tea. And
okay.
then Do you want to put the puzzle on screen that we're going to do so people can actually get excited for us
yes.
to see the puzzle? Oh no, MicroStudy has deeded their last doot.
And before we continue, I actually have a message from Karen. Now that I pop open my Discord and I see this. Karen wants to convey their personal thanks to everyone who's worked so hard to put the SudokuCon fundraiser together, and to everyone. We should have done this too before we signed off from the other one, but oops. But to everyone who appeared on screen, and the amazing producers who worked heroically behind the scenes, and the viewers and the donors who opened their hearts and their wallets. And Karen can't wait to meet you all in Boston in 2025. Sorry I didn't see that before the Twitch one signed off. But there we are. Message read. Okay, let's find this Math Pesto. Where'd it go? Here it is.
Alima is hoping for the Deet Deet Doot song.
Okay. And how's... let's see. And how is that looking on stream? That's looking just fine. Let me put links in the chat.
Hopefully the stream will slow the withdrawal. Yes, this Math Pesto puzzle was just posted. Yes, and... Tristan, go get your water, or I will go get you water. One of those.
Sorry, I just have so much to set up on my end now that we're doing this.
Now that we're back on this side.
Yeah. And Math Pesto, can you think of a bet sell, please?
Math Pesto gave one, but I don't remember what it was.
Oh, where was it?
It was in chat some time ago.
Can somebody repeat it? Row 9, column 5. All right, and
I love solving Math Pesto puzzles. So Aberrant asks what people are raising money for. Money is being raised for the SudokuCon thing, which is happening hopefully in 2025. So a get together for all the Sudoku people. Be a Math Pesto tester today. MicroStudy has been an incredibly dutiful tester for me lately, and I know MicroStudy tests a lot of people's puzzles. Testing is always greatly appreciated. If you want to know something you can do to help setters, I strongly recommend helping setters by testing their puzzles if you can. It really does help. And if you have puzzles that you need tested, then should be able to find people who will do them. Our Discord channel often actually has people who will help you if you ask there nicely for a puzzle. Math Pesto is one of your favorite pestos. Math Pesto is also one of my favorite pestos. So it is. It is true. I did have you test a puzzle yesterday. That is true. Yes. I am working on a packet of info about like intro to Sudoku and making Sudoku. And one of the things I was doing was talking about testing and testing feedback. So I made a puzzle with something that I thought a lot of people would comment on, and then got people to comment on it, and then fixed it. We have many invisible givens here.
Yep.
At least the bet tree didn't go on one of the invisible givens.
So let's go over the rules.
The grid contains a single region sum line.
Yes, the grid contains a single region sum line that moves orthogonally throughout the grid.
Line cannot intersect or overlap itself, so typical line drawing rules.
I haven't enabled betting yet. Let's wait until we read the rules to bet.
Can you read the rules, Tristan?
Yes. So on a region sum line, for every cell that for every box that it enters, it has to have the same sum. So if the line does this, then these three cells have the same sum as these three cells.
And have that line sneak back into box 2 so you can emphasize the way it works when it visits boxes more than once.
Exactly. I was about to do that. So if it does this, then this is a separate sum. So this cell has the same sum as these three cells, has the same sum as these three cells, has the same sum as these three cells. And this cell is that sum.
So we need to draw one gigantic region sum line into the grid. And so.
And for some reason, Sudoku Pad is being super laggy.
I can try and read the rules if you can't do it. I'm gathering you're having some technical issues.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check on my what's going on with my CPU. Okay, so the line may not intersect or overlap itself. All blue shapes are on the line. All red shapes are not on the line. The line begins and ends on the diamonds. And a square gives the number of cells that are on the region sum line in that box. And a circle gives the number of times the region sum line enters that box. So if it has two different segments in the box, then that circle would be a 2.
Okay. So we can do a lot of bluing in box 8. We don't know exactly what the line looks like, but we know that every non-red cell in box 8 is on the blue. So you can just color it in a blue background. Box 4. I think I said a random box, but I meant box 4.
I need to check on some technical something.
Please hold while we have technical issues. One day we will use the points to point out cells. That would be great.
I mean, OBS is pegging one core, but it's not the worst possible thing. So I don't know what's going on. I'll just put up with it. Okay. You were saying?
Yes, in box 4, every non-red cell is on the line. So we don't know what the line looks like, but we can just make all of those cells blue. Just to remind ourselves that all of them are indeed on the line. And of course, we can red the cells that we know aren't on the line. Is there any way that the line could enter a box 4 times? Because I'm thinking about the circles and what the circles could possibly be. Because the number of times the line can go in and out of the box, well, it can't be more than well, every time it enters,
so
it has to leave, with the exception of the diamonds.
Right.
So in a box that's not a box with a diamond, then... so for example, in box 9, It can't enter and leave the box more than 3 times because every time it enters, it has to get out as well. And there's only 6 ways in and out, but there's a 3 in the box. So that circle can only be a 1 or a 2.
There's actually only 5 ways in and out.
Ah, yes, there's only 5 ways in and out. So that circle's a 1 or a 2.
That I agree with.
Okay, and so now my question is, can row 6, column 8 really be a 4? Because otherwise we've got a 1-2 pair. So in this box, it would have to get in and out. If it wanted to get in and out 4 times, then we'd need to be... so it can't enter and exit, so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it can't, because it's only actually got 6 cells it can enter and exit through. Because you can't actually use, although row 6, column 7, for example, borders 2 different cells outside, you can only use it once as an entrance or an exit. So that does have to be a 1 or a 2.
Right. And this is in a corner, and there are 5 ways. So this is also a 1 or a 2.
Yep. And I think by exactly the same logic, I think row 1, column 6 is a 1 or a 2.
That one I'm like slightly less certain
So
of.
the clue is that the sum is, well, if it, it could be a 3. Right, it could be a 3. Sorry, 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, it can be 3. I somehow in my brain I was thinking that every cell in the grid saw that 3, but that's probably not true.
4 is just not possible by region sum line logic.
I mean, you can't get in and out of that box 4 times.
Right.
And getting in and out 3 times would be quite tight, but it's technically possible. And probably one of these circles is going to contain a 3 that's going to completely force what the line looks like. So one thing I want to note about the sum is at most 22, because we enter a box twice. So the sum can't be larger than 22, or we'd break the total. It's probably smaller than that, but at the very least, we know that. What is square? Squares are the number of lines in the box. Okay, or number of cells that are on the line in the box. Okay. Box 2 has a 5 and a square, so it can't possibly be a 3 in that circle, because there's only 5 cells on the line in the entire box. I can't have 3 separate things, because in order to...
Why couldn't it...
Because I need to get in and out of the box.
That's 5.
Oh, I think you're right. I think it can still be 3. You're right, even with the 5. Yeah, okay. I think you're right. Let's see.
Isabella says,
I do like that point.
If this is even, it breaks the parity of the box. Because if this is even, it's not 1. And if this is not 1, then the blue cells have an even sum.
Right. So it's at least 3, and it's almost assuredly not larger than 3.
Oh, I suppose if it is 3, then the blue cells might not have an even sum.
Yes, as Garion points out, we've already proved the sum is at most 22. So the sum's not 44. So that is... and so maybe you will prove me wrong. Do you believe we can get in and out of this box 5 times?
I don't think so.
So this is a 3 or a 5. And I think it's almost assuredly a 3.
Oh, I never started betting. Haha.
Lombardo, currently points don't do anything other than that you can collect points by betting on cells, and you get points just by being here and chatting. Yeah, so the openings, Microset is telling me to count the openings, but I realized I missed when Tristan showed me the thing that could happen in box 2. I got nervous because it meant my proof earlier was wrong. I think the conclusion of it was right, but I gave a wrong proof earlier.
Yeah, this certainly can't be. So is this just going to be a 3? Is that?
I think it's going to be a 3 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, but this one, remember, this box, it doesn't have to get out. It only has to get in. Because this is a box where it ends. So it might still be able to be 5. It's certainly 3 or 5. We have to be careful about the 5 because this is a diamond box and we haven't thought about diamond boxes before.
So even with
now, there is an 8 on the region sum line. So the sum is at least 8. And 8 times 5 would already be 40. So if it were a 5,
you can't make
then
5.
It would be 40. But I don't think that works. I don't think there's 5 ways to make 8.
There are not.
Because right. There's a 9 on the region sum line. That's the point. There's a 9 on the region sum line for sure, because the 9 in box 4 is on the region sum line. So the sum is at least 9.
So now we know exactly what the sum is, in fact.
Right, and therefore that can't be a 5. So that does have to be a 3, and we get our 3 dance. Woo! Thank you, Zach. Thank you.
I agree, microstudy. It was very doable by geometry.
3, 4, 5, 7.
So yes, the sum is 14 is the point.
Yeah, Jim asked how we knew the circle wasn't 1. If the circle is 1, the sum would be 44, but we know there's a box that has 2 region sum line segments in it because of the circles in column 8, so the sum can't be 44. Okay, so do you want to say what the circle in row 2, column 3 can be? Because I think the circle is only, I think that circle is only 1 or 2.
I think I agree with
now
that.
C is a 3, and there's only 5 entrances to this box, and this box is not an end. So we have that. So we know the sum now, by the way. It should probably be worth pointing out, because the sum is 42 divided by 3.
I just said that.
Do we know what 42 divided by 3 is?
Isn't it 14?
Okay, I believe that. So row 1, column 6 isn't 1. Because there's 5 cells on the line, and if there were only 1 visit, that would be 5 cells summing to 14. That doesn't work.
Very nice.
So we've got that at least. Okay, so every circle is at most 3. So row 5, column 5 is 1 or 3, because the total's 14. I can't get more than 3 14s. So that's certainly 1 or 3. Oh, and Carl points out that 3 visits... Is 3 visits a problem?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
because
3
one of
visits
them
is a
would
huge
need to
problem
be a
with
single
5.
cell.
Yes. Well, the point is, 3 leaves 42 in the box. You need all 42 in order to make 3 14s. Every cell would have to be blue, and that 5 would be an 8. So that's actually a 2. And so that puts a 1 in row 1. So we have a 3-cell visit and a 2-cell visit in this box. Okay, so now row 3, column 8 is the number of cells visited in a box with 1 14 sum that does not contain a 1. So
it can't be 5. It can't be as high as 5. Well,
right.
It can't,
so
can it be 4?
And it can only be 4 because there's a 1, 2, 3 triple in the column.
Oh, so it is 4.
It is 4, right? This is a 4-digit sum with no 1 to 14. So the sum itself is 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the only thing, which means that the 4 is on the region sum line and the 6 is not. Because the only 4-digit sum to 15 without a 1 is 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you can read off 2 more of the cells in the box because you know it doesn't go into a dead end. Because the line doesn't end there. So row 1, column 8, and row 2, column 9, those are red as well. And row 1, column 7 is now also red. Row 1, column 7 is now also red. End. And so the remaining cells are blue, and we know what digits go in them. And we know what the line looks like. Yep, so you should draw in the part of the line that we have and continue it and blue the cells that it now touches. And we should also fill in the other cells in box 3 because there's only 7, 8, 9 left. Okay. Okay. Now look at row 4, column 8. This digit is at least 5. However, the number of visits to the box is at most 2. So the number of visits to the box can't be 1 because we can't have 5 digits on something. So you can mark that
it also
as
sees
5, 7, 8, 9. But no, the circle, row 6, column 8, can't be 1. The circle is 2.
Oh, this.
Because the square is at least 5.
Right.
And I can't have a single 5-cell sum to 14.
And okay, surely it must just be 5.
7 cells summing to 28 seems possible to me. So it's 5 or 7. It can't be 6 only because there's a 6 in the column. Okay. Yeah, the outies would be 8, 9 in that case, Screaming Ice Cube.
Nicholas is right that this has to be...
It's amusing that it can't be 1 because you can't grab all those cells without the square being at least 5.
That's funny.
So yeah, so it's 2 or 3. And the square is certainly at least 5 because I need to grab all of these cells, and I don't think 5 is even possible. Yeah, I don't think 5 is possible. I think the square actually has to be at least 6. So 6, 7, and it can't be 9. Because 45 is not a multiple of 14. And the diamond just means it's the starter end of the loop.
Yeah, and I think I agree. If it's... Let's see, if this is 3, you don't need all exits because you end in here.
Row 7, column 9, this is the thing we should have looked at before, is only 2 or 4 because it's 1 sum to 14. If it's 4, then we need 1, 2, 3, and 5, which would be difficult, but possible perhaps. And if it's 2, then we, of course, need to have some giant digits on the region sum line, and none of this stuff can be. Okay.
Hey, J. Dyer.
Hey, Jay. Agree with Josh. Yeah, we can those just can't be part of a 4-cell visit to the box. So they are both red.
1 + 2 + 3 + 5, not 14. That's 11.
Okay. So Garian's point is excellent. So we need 5 entrance exits to box 4 because of the 3. Because remember, we start there. So we need go out, then come in and out, then come in and out. That's 5 total. There are 7 options. But Garian says there's an X below the diamond because the diamond, because you don't have a 1-cell sum. And you can't use both of the things next to the 8. And so therefore there's edge everywhere else, which is lovely. And so you can blue some cells. And in particular, you also get that row 2, column 3 is a 2. Oh no, not necessarily. Sorry, I was seeing that as 2 visits, but maybe those 2 visits connect back up. So it might not be a 2. We do have to actually have some cells that are red in box 7. I'm trying to decide if the fact that we need... is there any way we read 3 cells? It feels to me like if we read 3 cells, we have a Hayawake problem of some sort, but I can't imagine what 3 cells we're reading that doesn't cause there to be... only one thing gets to be a dead end in this box, which is row 8, column 1. But this is probably not the lowest hanging fruit to look at.
If this is 3, we need outies of exactly 1 and 2 in this box. That's true.
So if this is 3, then both row 7, column 3 and row 9, column 3 are blue, is Vishwas' point. And row 8, column 2 would also be blue. So my only 2 cells that would be red would be row 7, column 1 and row 9, column 1. They're getting to 8, but I'm only counting 7 cells on the line when I do this in my head. But I might be missing some obvious thing that is...
let's see. This 8 is going to have a connection. Whichever direction it goes, it's going immediately out of the box. So one of these has to be a 6 to make the sum.
It is true. Row 8, column 8 is never red, and that's fairly. I think that is easy to prove because if row 8, column 8 was red, you'd create 2 dead ends in the box. Sorry, not row 8, column 8. Row 8, column 2. I knew what Alima meant. At least I thought I knew what Alima meant. Maybe Alima did not actually mean that. But that's definitely not red because it would create 2 dead ends. Because the diamond would be a dead end, but whichever way you didn't go from the diamond would also be a dead end. Wait, is that true? Maybe that's not true. Sorry. What if the other red cell was next to the diamond? Now I'm worried that maybe I could dream of a world where this happens. Yes, Alima, we have mind melded that you said completely the wrong cell, and then I knew what you meant, and then said completely the wrong cell.
Vishwath is absolutely correct. That's an easy way to see it. Is that if this is a 3 here, then we need to use 5 exits. But there only are 5, and now this cell is a 14.
There we go. Okay, there we go. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Vishwath. Great spot. Yes, okay. So that in fact is a 2. Let's see. I'm noticing 2 is placed in box 4 by Sudoku, which is great, actually. Because now that can't turn right, because if it turned right, it would be a 12 next to it. So it has to go down instead. And so now that thing in row 4, column 2, it also has to go down. Because where else is it going to go?
Yep. Wow. If this is a 1, then this can't be a 2. So it can't just end here. So we would have to loop around.
Mm-hmm.
But now if you look at the minimum of what these are with 1 and 4 gone in the box.
Yep.
It's too much. 2, 3, 5, 6.
Because it would have to be exactly 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, that is true. I agree. So that is
so
not
that's
a 1,
a 2.
it is a 2. So I think that means row 1, column 1 is at least 6. Because there's no way I have 2 2-cell sums to 14. There are 2 2-cell sums to 14, but there's no way I can fit them in this box because of where the 2 is.
Yep.
So I need at least 5, but there's a 5 in the row. So this digit's at least 6, and at most 7. Which is interesting because it says that we need to like stick to pretty small numbers.
Lombardo says this line comes down, which is probably true, but seems like a huge pain in the ass to prove. So if it goes right, this is a 2-cell sum without an 8.
I think they mean row 5, column 2.
Oh, row 5, column 2.
And so is the claim that you can't make a 4-cell sum to 14 with a 2 but no 3? Seems to me like you could, right? You could do something with a 1. I think there is a sum that would work.
1, 2, 4,
1, 2,
7.
4, 7 would work, points out Carl.
We know it's not 1, 2, 5, 6 because the 6 goes with the 8. Yeah, that would be 1, 2, 4, 7. And this would be 9, 9, 5. And this would be 6, 8.
6, 8.
That works. Oh, I think Nicholas has a good point. Where does the 9 go in this box?
Why is the 9 under pressure?
Oh, 9 could be on a 3-cell.
As Carl points out, 9 can go with 2 different combinations, which is, I think, going to be messy.
Yeah, never mind.
I was thinking that exact thing earlier, Nicholas, which is why when you said it, I was like, wait a minute, was I think something is not quite going correctly with that. There are. So use both of those. I think we can prove that row 5, column 5 isn't a 3 by exit counting, because there are 8 total exits. And if we make that a 3, we need to use 6 of them. But we can't use both the exits from any of the 3 corners. So that means we only actually have 5 that we could use, because row 4, column 6, row 6, column 6, and row 6, column 4, all of those we can only use we can only use one of the exits, because it would make a single cell 14. So there's 8 exits, and we can only use it's because there's not 8. I can't count. There are 12 exits, or 11 exits actually. So this point does not work, sadly. My belief that that 4 times 3 was 9 has thwarted us.
Yeah.
Would require quite specific. It is true. All but one of the exits from box 1 is an actual exit. This is what Carl is pointing out, because we need to use 4 of the 5.
Right, so 2 of these are exits.
Yes. But I don't quite see what to do with that. 2 of them, so there's only 3 total lines poking into box 2. And so 2 of them are coming in from the left. One of them is coming in from the right. So one of them is coming into the box from above.
Which box? Box 5?
Box 2. Box 2 has 4 total entrance exits.
Uh-huh.
And so we know two of them are coming from box one of them is coming from box three, and ergo one of them is coming from box five.
Yes.
Uh, and remember, we only get five total blue cells in the entire box. So I don't think that connection you have highlighted could be the connection, although it's messy to try and articulate exactly why that is. I think I can probably articulate that row 1, column 5 is definitely red. Because if row 1, column 5 was blue, it would be a corner. And just by filling in the things that make it a corner, that's already 4 of my blue cells in this box. And so I don't think there's any way I sort of get 2 lines in with those 4 cells and only one more cell that the loop is allowed to visit.
I agree.
Trisha is arguing you can't actually connect row 1, column 3 with row 1, column 4, which I was trying to articulate before, but I'm not sure I can see it. Is there an easy way to see that? Doesn't work.
I don't see the problem with this arrangement.
The problem with that arrangement is you have 2 ends going into the box that you've got to do something with that is not them connecting and is not them taking a bajillion more cells. I don't have an elegant explanation, but it doesn't work. 5 cells summing to 28, Nicholas. So the 4, I guess that's worth adding. The 4 outies in this box, what do they sum to? They sum to 45 minus 28, which is 17. So our outies in this box actually are a 2 that aren't 2 and 5, or a 2 cell sum to 10 for whatever that's worth. Okay, I like Alima's point, and I think I see how to use it now. If row 1, column 1 is a 7, then the outies are 8 and 9 because our outies sum to 17. Mm-hmm. So that in particular is blue, and so it's a corner on the line. And so we'd need to sort of fill in the line going there. And so that would place the 8 immediately in row 2, column 2. And that doesn't look great, but I don't quite see exactly. Well, it would place the 8 there, and then that would force a bunch more problems. So that breaks, but in a as Jay Dyer puts it, that makes the segment going through row 1, column 1 of length at least 5, which is too many. Because that cell, as soon as it's an 8, becomes red. So this is. I can see it now that Alima said the words I needed, which is to point out that would be. We're not saying that's red. We're just saying it's not 7.
We were saying it's red.
Why are we saying it's red? Oh, you're just saying that if it were blue, it would need to be 5 cells regardless of what it was. Okay, yes, sorry. Right. I was seeing it as being 5 cells because it was wrapping around an 8. But it also can't be a 7. We just proved it's a 6. But this way is way more elegant than the way we proved it was a 6, but it's still a 6. Because if it was a 7, it would need to be blue, is the point.
That's true. That's easy.
So that direction is a lot easier than the direction that I arrived at that conclusion from. Okay, so if there is a 2-cell sum in this box, it's 5, 9. Otherwise, it's 2 3-cell sums. But there's no way
I don't think you can
that
make two
row
three-cell
three
sums
column.
just by
There's no way.
geometry.
Yeah, there's no way that row 3 column 1 is going to make a 3-cell sum. So row 3 column 1 is either going to make a 2-cell sum or a 4-cell sum. And the 2-cell sum has to be 5, 9. So if the 2-cell sum is 5, 9, chat, help me out. What's the 4-cell sum?
Yeah, but if this is a 4-cell sum, where do you put the 2-cell sum?
That is also a problem. I was going to do it with math instead, but yeah, you're right. That so JLib points out this is, I think, easier. The 4-cell sum has to be 2, 3, 4, 6. And so right. Garian's point is you could draw other things, but 2, 3, 4, 6 is what you have to do, I think, in order to 2, 3, 4, 5 is what you have to do. No, I'm saying you've used the 5. So if we've used the 5 to make 5, 9, what is our 4-cell sum? It has to have a 1 in it for sure. It's got to have a 2 in it, right? I'm pretty sure it needs to have a 2.
Otherwise, it's 1, 3, 4, 6. No, 1, 3, 4, 6 is 14.
6 is red.
Oh.
So the 2 is blue, is the point.
Do we know that for sure?
Yes, because you just told me I need a 2 in my 4-cell sum to 14 that doesn't use a 6 or a 5. So 1, 3, 7, 8 is much too big.
Right, and because of this, we can't have 2 3-cell sums. That's the point.
Right. That was the sort of the secret sauce in all of this, was that we know there's a 2-cell sum with 5, 9, and we know the 2 is part of the thing.
Yeah, and we know it doesn't do this, but there's a couple other things it could do.
Right. I feel like row 1, column 2 can't be blue, but I'm not even sure if it's worth our effort to prove it. But I don't think there's any combination that visits 6 cells and one of them is row 1, column 2.
Sorry, what?
I don't think row 1, column 2 can be blue, because I don't think you can make only 6 cells blue and draw 2 loops, one of which goes through there.
You can't do that?
Oh, maybe you could do that. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think you're right.
Oh, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Because now what happens in box 2?
Yep. That does not work. Okay, so just in general. Oh no, that's not true. I was gonna say something silly.
So I think I agree with Garian that you can't use this connection.
So yeah, it would force that. That would go down.
And now this is a huge mess.
Why did it have to go down there? Why couldn't it have gone? Oh, because if it tries to go across, it's going to be length 5, not length 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sure there's an elegant way to see that, but I don't see the elegant way. But I do believe that it can't be used.
So that means we use these two.
Correct, and we know which way row 2, column 3 goes.
Right. It has to connect here.
Well, I'm at least prepared to say it has to go left 1.
Well, we're
But now row 1, column 3 is red because it's now unvisitable.
and
And row 1, column 4 is now red as well. And so now the rest of box 1 is blue. And so now row 2, column 1 is a corner. And so then
sure.
you get the thing that you wanted. And so those connect. I was just proving it because you had earlier smitten me. The 2-cell sum is 5, 9, which places a 5 in box 3. And our 4-cell sum, there's options. But it definitely has a 1. But I guess it has a 1 even by Sudoku, so maybe that's not super exciting. You can blue 2 more cells in box 2, so we actually only get 2 more blue cells in this box. Well, 8 is definitely in row 1, right? There's no 14 sum that involves an 8, is there? 1, 2, 8 is what? Actually, no, 1, 2, 3, 8 would work, darn it. 1, 2, 3, 8 would work. Annoying. Okay. The outies beyond the 6 sum to 11. But the thing is, that can't be a 3-8 pair because of the 3 and 8 in column 3, Jay Dyer points out. So it's a 4-7 pair instead.
So now we know what these are.
Yeah, so those are 1, 2, 3, 8. And the 4-7 places a 7 in box 3. And in row 1 now, we get our last thing, which is 3. Row 1, column 4. And also the 2, 3 pair looks over row 3, so we should probably take care of that. Also, the 2-cell sum that must exist in box 2 is now definitely 6, 8. I mean, I guess it's definitely been 6, 8 for a long time. And so, yeah, I guess there are a couple places where 6, 8 could maybe live plausibly.
I agree with Garion that this cell is always visited. There's no way you can draw
Right.
5 cells and not visit this cell.
Right. You would have to, yeah, okay, I agree. I bet there's a slick parody argument or something like someone gave earlier that would make that easy to see, but I definitely agree with it.
Oh,
I'm told
we know what the last
7.
outie is by math.
Right, because 28, 17. Yep, and so yeah, we need a red 7 in its place. Okay, very nice. Very nice. Yes, that is very nice. So that is blue. And so we now at least get one more connection on our line in the row.
Oh, here.
Yes. And we know that there's a vertical connection from row 3, column 5 down, regardless of what it looks like, because we need an extra out from the box. which makes that cell blue for whatever it is worth. And yeah, there's a 6-8 pair somewhere in the box.
But what? This is always part of the 6-8 pair.
Yes, that's true. And I guess the ones in row 2 in the longer line are not. Marty has been convinced for a while that row 8, column 3 can't be a 7. No, has to be a 7.
We do need one of these cells to be a 9 and make that work by Sudoku.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just know what the cell sums are. There's a 6-8 and there's the other stuff, which is 149 in this case.
So this one is part of the 149. And this one is part of the 149.
And that one's part of the 149. Yep. Need those. If row 5, column 4 goes up, then it closes with this other piece, I think. And then those two cells need to sum. No, not that way. Can't do that. That would make a 1 cell sum to 14. So it'd have to bend to the right, and now it's out of the box. So those two remaining cells would have to sum to 12, and they can't be 3, 9, or 5, 7. They'd have to be exactly 4, 8. So if this does go up, that's exactly a 4, 8 pair. I'm trying to decide if there's a reason why that being exactly a 4, 8 pair is broken.
Yeah,
okay, so Fish is making a pretty good argument here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to involve exit counting again.
Mm-hmm. So if it's
basically
a 3,
we need to use row 4, column 4.
Yeah, if it's a 3,
one, 2,
and then
3, 4. Now 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and then 6, 7 or something. Right. If it's a 3, the 3 is red. And everything else is part of a sum. Because if it's a 3, the sum of cells on the line is 42.
42.
And so the outies sum to 3, but the 2 is already blue. So if it's a 3, it's red. And so everything is blue. So it's always the case that row 4, column 4 is blue. That's beautiful, Fish. Well spotted.
That is really nice.
And so that takes the corner and gets us the 4, 8 pair that I previously promised.
Nice.
Um, and now that gets us an 8 corner mark in column 6 because of a Zach wing on 8s. Between boxes 2 and 5.
Okay.
I mean, it's not useful yet, but it'll probably be useful someday. Lima says that tells us the line in box 2. I'm not quite sure how. Alima has retracted.
Hmm.
Ah, wow. Okay, yeah. So I agree with Nicholas. Well, wait. It could exit down. It could go to row 5, column 9, then left, and then, yeah, it could do something like that. Some variation of that I think would be okay, unfortunately. I liked the point, but sadly I don't think the point is true.
And then you could have a 3 thing like that or like that.
There is an 8 in row 5 in box 6, and if that square is a 7, the 8 is red, so I think that's worth keeping track of.
Oh, I think we're having complaints that this blue is hard to read on.
I thought it was an optimistic blue, but we can make it a different blue.
We can make them green.
Okay. But then you have to change the red.
Change the red to like purple.
Gray. That's right. You don't do gray, do you?
We can make a gray.
Oh, that's a horrible gray. Yeah, we got to make it a light gray. The kind of gray that you almost can't see is there unless you know you're looking for it. There we go. Perfect.
How about that?
And so now you can make the line blue so people can see the pencil marks. Is what people are actually asking. People are actually saying that the black of the line was making it hard to read pencil marks.
But is blue any better? Yeah,
Considerably.
Okay, readability
change
win.
The color scheme to look to look more inviting.
The question is if this is a 4-cell sum to...
And keep in mind, it could
we
zig
can't
in the
use a
middle
1
well.
in it. And it can't be 2, 3, 4, 5.
It could be if you zigged instead of going straight down, unfortunately. Just go down, left, down, instead of down, down, left. I think that could be 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I don't think this proof is going to get us there without going through a lot of cases.
Actually, maybe this could even still be 2, 3, 4, 5.
They would be 3, 4, 5 in this box, not 2, 3, 4. Screaming Ice Cube. Sadly.
Oh no, yeah, 3, 4, 5 here would break, but
Jay Dyer is re-requesting that you pencil mark 8 in box 6, as I requested previously.
oh,
But maybe
okay.
if you won't do it for me, you'll do it for Jay. Uh, 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 I was hoping that this 8 pencil mark would somehow be useful in proving that row 4, column 8 isn't a 7, but I have not been successful with that.
Is
It's probably worth taking Laura's point that 5, 7, 8, 9 are the only digits that are left in column 8 and pencil marking those. Because that disproves my weirdo, my version, because now we really do need to put the 3, 4 into column 9. This is still a messy, horrible argument, but people in chat had lots of good arguments, but I think the lots of good arguments were more complicated than I could read.
Sarah says row 5, column 5 is not a 3 because it sees her bet tree.
That is a good argument.
So is there another 3-cell sum to 14?
7 is only in 2 places in box 5. We should probably mark that 7. Corner mark.
7. Oh yeah. Oh. Right. 7.
There we go. Okay, that's good, Carl. Okay, I understand this now. So if you do a 4-cell sum in box 6 of any flavor, then it means that the square is a 7, because you can't do a 1-cell sum to finish it off. But now that 7 is involved, and so that would certainly break at least one of the L's. Or sorry, that would break the Tetris piece one. I still feel like this is a sort of grouty proof by cases. Because I think we have done all the cases. And I think each case has a not ugly proof now, but I think that the breaking into the cases is quite unpleasant. But I think that can't go down. Because if it goes down, it either goes down, down, left, or it does that. And all of those are bad. So
Math Pesto said what they did was consider this cell.
It's the question whether this cell can be on the loop at all. Because if this cell is on the loop at all, then it becomes part of a 4-cell sum. And then when it's part of a 4-cell sum, that 4-cell sum now breaks column 9. That is a much, much, much better way to do it, Math Pesto. Then that way you don't have to do it as a proof by cases. Because now it is just sort of one of our arguments and then the other. Because now if it goes down, now we get the 7 that has to be on the line but is in a dead end problem.
Yep.
because so this always goes left now. And so now row 5, column 9 is a dead end. So it is gray. Of note, row 4, column 9 is at least a 5. That might also be helpful to note. It's 5, 6, or 9 are the only options, and I think
Which
you can
cell?
rule out one of those. Row 4, column 9. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, so it could be 5 or 6. It can't be 7 or 8, and 9 would make the sum too big.
Sees 1, 2, 3.
Sees a 4, 8 pair in the row.
4.
Could be 5, could be 6. Sees 7 in the column. And can't be 8 or 9 because the sum would be... Well, it sees a 4, 8 pair, so it can't be 8. And can't be 9 because that would be a sum to 14, but we're not ready to leave the box yet. So it's only a 5 or a 6.
And if it's a... if this is a 5, this is a 7. But you can't use a 2.
Work. Right. That's not going to work. So yeah, so that's a 6. Good. Okay, and 6 plus 5 is already 11. So even at minimum, we have to leave the box immediately. This cannot be a 4-cell sum anymore.
So we just have to go straight across.
So I think we just have to go straight across.
With a 1 or a 3?
Yep, I think so. And that seems not to be able to be a 3. Because there's a 3 in the row.
So that's a
so it is
1.
And now, row 5, column 5 is a 3. Sorry, Sarah.
Yeah.
Now everything in this box is green. In both of these boxes, actually. The 3 is off, but everything else is green. In both boxes 5 and 6. So those are green. And then box 6, you can just green the entire thing. The 3 is gray. And we have an 8, 9 pair in box this one, box 6, because the outies are an 8, 9 pair, and we know the order.
And that's a 5 now.
Mm-hmm. And that 5 is a corner, so you can fill that in. And row 4, column 6 is a corner.
And we know what these... We can just fill these in.
Right. We know what digits they are. And they do resolve the 2, 3 pair above.
3 and 4?
Oh, in fact, they're just resolved even.
Yeah, and this sum completes one way or the other.
Right. You can resolve the 2, 3 pair. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and row 4, column 6 is a corner, so you can draw that. You do not know that.
Oh, right, it could come
Just
over
that.
here.
Now, can the 8, 9 in row 9, column 8 possibly be part of the visit? I don't think so.
This has to leave the box. Because the 7 is down here, so it's got to be on a 3 length line.
Ah, yes, that makes sense. Yep.
So this is a line, but that's going to force this out of the box.
Yep, very nice.
And that'll force this left.
Yep. This is going to make my point somewhat less exciting. I was going to say that the 8, 9 in row 9, column 8 is definitely gray. But now I think it's going to be very obvious that it's going to be gray. Because row 6, column 7 now has to go down. Row 6, column 7.
Yes, how do you know that?
Oh, no, you're right. Sorry, you're right. It could go the other way. We do have a 5-9 pair there in box 5, at least.
Oh, and we know the order.
And so we should fill in the remaining triple. I don't know what it is, but let's fill it in.
1, 6, 7.
Okay, and so that tells us where the 6 goes in box 4 now. So now we finally have gotten resolved all of this.
And now this needs to leave the box.
Yep. And fill in the 7 in box 7. This is going to be relevant.
Now, surely this middle cell must be green.
Yes, you should definitely pencil mark the rest of row 6 and row 4 while you're at it. In fact, just mark this whole box and then resolve it, because I think everything's going to resolve now.
So this is a 9.
Those aren't 1 or 7. So those are a 4 or 5 pair.
That's a 5 now.
Yep, and so that
4 and
resolves
5.
5. Okay, so the 5 definitely doesn't connect to the 4. So the 5 connects up.
And so that's a 7.
That is indeed a 7, yes.
That's a 1. And
oh, and it's got to connect down, because where else is it going to connect? It no longer has an option. And so that resolves a lot of box 1.
7 and 4. That's not a 1.
Let's fill in the remainder of column 2. Actually, let's fill in as the remainder of column 2 and column 3. I think both of those have only 2 digits left. Oh, no, I was wrong about this one. This one has... but row 7, column 2 can't be 8, because the red cells in this, or the gray cells in this box are 8, 9, because of the 7.
So that's a 6.
So that is the 6, indeed. And now, the 6 could go right and down and be okay. So I'm not quite sure what to do with that yet.
We know 1 in this
so
box.
1 and 5 are definitely green, for what it's worth.
Oh yeah.
In box 7, because the 8 and the 9 are the things that are not green. If row 8, column 1 went up, we'd have to make a 2-cell sum to 8, and there aren't any. So row 8, column 1 doesn't go up, and that's one of the cells that's red.
Sorry, what?
If row 8, column 1 went up, we'd need to make a 2-cell sum to 8, because it would be forced to connect to the 6 and then leave. But there aren't any 2-cell sums to 6, or sorry, 2-cell sums to 8 that we can make, because we can't make 3, 5, 2, 6, or 1, 8. So that does not go up. And so that cell is out.
And it's an 8 or a 9.
It is an 8 or a 9, yes.
So this... This 7 needs to go with cells that add to 7.
Well, it's not going with 2, 5. But it could go with 1, 6 very easily.
Yes.
I'm not actually sure there's a way for it to go with 3, 4.
7, 3.
Yeah, I think the way it would go with 3, 4 does not work.
7, 3, 4, and then that splits the box.
So I think it has to go up and left.
I think that's true. And then out.
Yep. Okay, and now we know the 5 connects out. So you can at least draw that line and connects backwards. And we know that the diamond is one of the remaining 2 digits. So it's a 3 or a 4.
This is going to be 5, 2,
3, 4.
3, 4.
So yeah, so that's a 3 or a 4. Point from Amy, we know what happens to row 6, column 3. Good spot. Laura has a digit. Row 9, column 9 is a naked single. Which is very nice.
So that only leaves here for 4.
Yeah, so that square is a 2. And that's a 4. And so now we have a 2-cell sum, so you can get rid of the 1 and the 3. Those are gray in box 9. And it's only a 2-cell sum, so there's no way that 8, 9 is involved. In row, that one, yep. And we know that row 8, column 7 must be involved. Because our 2-cell sum has to go through it. Blinking Triss.
Yeah, my light is like on its last gasp.
That is 6, 8, or and it's a 6 or an 8. So that's green, and it's a 6 or an 8. And in particular, row 9, column 8 is a 9, because my 2-cell sum can't be 5, 9 because there's a gray 9 in the box. So that's a 9, and that resolves some stuff.
I think you mean a gray 5, but sure.
That resolves some stuff up above still.
Yep.
And we should fill in our triple, which is 6, 8, and the other one.
7.
That places the 9 per J. Dyer. If the row 6 connects across, I think we're going to create a real issue for ourselves.
Isabella points out that this can't be a 2-cell sum. So this one connects right.
Can't be 6, 8. Yeah, it can't be 6, 8 or 5, 9. Yep, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, in the column it can't be 6, 8, and then in the row it can't be 5, 9. Very nice. So it definitely connects through the bet tree. Okay, so that square is now
this
at
connects
least 5.
Left.
So the square in row 9, column 6. It's at least 5 just by geometry of lines, but it's not 5. So it can only actually be 6 or 8. And 8 seems unlikely. But I'm
8
not.
8 would need an Audi of 3 exactly here.
8 would need an Audi of 3.
Can't be.
Right.
There's a 3 in the column.
Yep.
So there's
yes.
So 3 is actually in 3 is placed by Sudoku in green, so it can't be 8.
Right.
Now we get a 7-8 pair here, so that's a 6.
And that does some work up above if you chase it.
Uh-huh. So that's a 4. Oh, if we look where 3
Only
can
two
actually...
digits left in this column, in column 6, and one of them is a 3, so you know where it goes.
Oh, and this actually is a 3.
Yep, so that's an 8, which resolves the loop.
So that's gray.
Yep.
And this has to come through here.
So it does the thing I was trying to prove it doesn't do.
And that stabs the bet tree through the heart. Look at that.
How graphic, Chameleon. This now just has to cut across because we only get 6 cells in the loop in this box.
I see. So those are green. That's going to be green. These are going to be gray.
Gray. And now we're finally going to have our loop finished once you resolve the Sudoku over in box 7.
So that's gray. That's green. So this
we get to go
like
loop, loop.
That.
Yep. And we probably should do some svenning just to pepper the world with pencil marks. And then you can go finish Sudoku in box 1 once you run out of Sudoku to do elsewhere. Eight, 4.
Hmm.
9 is just placed in box 2. That'll help.
That'll do it.
Maybe not, actually.
Oh, we can't close the line in column 4. That's the point. Just look at the line.
Yes. That's the point. Because we didn't ever connect in row 6. Is the point. And so now that resolves everything, hopefully.
Yes. So that'll be 1, 6, and 8. And that does everything else. Great puzzle.
And our bet tree is a 1. Congratulations from all of us here at Zeta Math Core to all of you 1-betters out there. May all of your betting tree wishes come true. That was wonderful, Math Pesto. I really enjoyed that.
Yes. Why am I so red all of a sudden? Is that... There we go.
Now you're blue.
Now I'm very blue.
Da-dee-dee-da-dee-da.
Penguin.
Color correcting penguin.
Now I'm red again.
You are now very red. Yes, I had a great deal of fun with that. There were a lot of neat little discoveries there to put together.
Yes.
I have tried to make a build your own 10 lines puzzle like this a gajillion times, and I have not yet gotten it to work. Someday it will work. I think, maybe, possibly. All right, are we going to take a quick break and then come back and do a couple 6x6s?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Alrighty.
Oh,
we will
actually,
see you.
I don't need a break if you just want to.
Okay, well, I'll take a break and you can start a 6x6.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. Let's see what we've got. Let's do this one by Math Pesto students. We did a Math Pesto. Now let's do one by Math Pesto students. Okay. Let me drop a link. Yeah, I saw that, Karen. I think we're probably not going to have time for that today, but we will definitely keep that around.
It is the arrow from Untitled by Unknown. So we know the total of the arrow. Which is very cute. So if the total of the arrow is 5, then you put 1s all along it, and then you put a 1 on top of the 5. So the long arrow has to be 6. And so everything along the arrow is a 1 or a 2. Oh, I guess even I didn't even see that actually couldn't make 1 and 2 work in there. What?
Did you push the mic away from you? You're quieter all of a sudden.
Am I now back to where I was?
Yes.
So you actually know where the 1-2 pair is because those two digits can't repeat. And I gave an argument that this was true for a Latin square when we actually could have used the fact that those were a 1-2. But we'll go with it anyway. Okay, so arrow in row 6, column 2 is definitely a 5 because it can't have any 1s on it, and it can't be a 6. So it's a 5 with a 2-3 pair.
Now we have a 5 in one of these cells.
And row 1, column 3 is a 2. Because that arrow, if it doesn't have a 1 or a 2 on it, is going to sum to at least 7, which is too many. And the 1 or a 2 can't go in box 2.
So that resolves our 3 and our 2. Now one of these is 2.
And you know which one because of Sven?
So that's a 2. This
is great to
3 or a 4 with a 5 or a 6.
And you probably want to note what the digits left in box 5 are, because one of them is a 2, and I know where the 2 goes. Now 5 and 6 are what are left in column 3.
Oh, column 3. How about here?
1 is one of them, and 4 is the other, and we know which order they go.
We do need to get a 5. We have to get a 5 on here. There's one in here, so we need a 5. We can't put another 5 in this row, so 5 goes here.
Yep. Counted by rows or count. I was counting it by boxes for some reason, but same cool idea.
That is a great step. I agree, Michael.
Yes.
That's a fantastic step.
The 6 in row 1 is placed.
Oh, we are missing a 1, I am told. Goes here.
That would probably help.
So that's going to put a 5 here.
Yep.
By quad.
Yep. And then 6 in row 1 should finish it.
All right.
Very nice.
Excellent Math Pesto students.
Yes. I quite enjoyed that. Plus the fact that it's a Z will always warm my heart. I'll assume it was intended for me.
And yeah, that this quad along with the 5-6 pair, meaning we needed a 5 up here. I really enjoyed that.
Yes. All very, very smoothly put together.
All right. can grab another one.
Yes.
Are we men enough to, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Are we brave enough to take on this J Dyer mean mini?
Sure, why not?
Oh boy. So we have these lines.
You don't have it on screen. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. My software does not work instantly.
All right.
So this is a standard mean mini rules, which means we fill this grid with using 6 of the digits from 1 to 9 that we have to determine.
But it's the same 6 digits in every row, column, and box. We don't get to mix and match.
Right. And all the clues are valid between lines, but they also have an additional constraint. Either the digits in the circles are 1 and 9, or the line is a valid double arrow, meaning the digits on the line sum to the same as the digits in the circles. This...
Excellent.
Now, is this too long to be a double arrow? I guess not.
I mean, it could sum to 6.
It could sum to 6.
But for example, row 2, column 5, I know where it goes in box 6, I think. So give it a color.
Sorry, row 2, column 5.
Yep. Where does it go in column 6?
Right. So these are...
Because it is a valid between line always. So now we just need to do that umpteen more times. And then we will be where we need to be.
Each line, Sarah, is exactly one or the other, but it's not all of them.
There's stuff like row 2, column 3, we know is in one of 2 places in row 1. I don't know how enthusiastic we are about marking that. Can also say things like green is either the biggest or the smallest or the second biggest or second smallest number, just by between line stuff. If anything in the grid is more extreme than green, it's row 1, column 6. It's because every line in the grid is always a between line. It's a between line and something else, JC Gadar. At least that's what Tristan read to me, I think.
That is correct. All clues are valid between lines.
Huh.
Longest line to be double arrow has to be 1, 9. Why?
Right, because those can't be 1, 2, 1, 2 because it's a between line. I was when I said that I was still sort of in my brain thinking of the other thing. So
it's
those
min 2, 3, 2, 3, which is 10.
And so you'd need a 1, and then a number that's bigger than 1 that also makes it a double arrow. And so because there's a 2 on it at all, you need a 1 in one of the circles, but you can't have 1, 9 in the circles because 2, 3, 2, 3 would also sum to 10, and you can't have both the correct sum.
Welcome,
So,
Pathos. Thanks for subscribing.
welcome.
So this is not a double arrow, and therefore these circles are 1 and 9.
Yes, because of the exactly 1 business. I think that's correct. So row 6, column 1 is row 4, column 3.
Row 6, column 1 is row 4, column 3. Yes, I agree.
And so you should color them. And then color the other 1, 9, just so that we have the other 1, 9. The other 1, 9 is green. Because where does the other 1, 9 go in row 6? So blue is placed in box 1.
Not very many double arrows yet.
Blue is placed in box 4.
Blue is placed in box 4.
Not on a between line. And blue is placed in row 1 now.
So blue must go here.
Correct.
So this isn't a double arrow. This one is a double arrow because this can't be 1 or 9.
Correct. Hey, Manu. Yeah, the SudokuCon stream just ended. Yeah, we got the last 2-hour block, and then people get to continue the Sudoku after party with us. Okay. So green is placed in box 1. Let's finish our Sudoku on 1s and 9s. And so then the last green. Oh, that's not the last green. There's one more green in box 4.
Right. And we have 3 double arrows. In fact.
Indwad. Yeah, you can mark the double arrows by putting purple along the lines. And the between lines can now be deleted from the puzzle because no, they're not. They can't because we need to make sure the sum is not 10.
Agree. Garion says we can't make because yes. This can't be a 9. There's... Well, hang on. Why couldn't the
I
sum
feel like the
be...
math is backwards.
I don't understand
I feel like the sum
that.
could be large.
If there's no okay, if there's no 2 on the between line, it's at least 3, 4, 5. Which is...
Oh, are we having to do some algebra here? Because if green is 9, then we have to pay attention to what the other digit is. And so if green is 9 and the other side is x, then the minimum of the digits is x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3. So that's 3x plus 6. And so we'd have 3x plus 6 equals 9 plus x. So 3x plus 6 equals 9 plus x. Trying to solve this in my head. 2x equals... 3x plus 6 equals 9 plus x. 2x equals... Is that saying 2x is minus 3? I think that's saying 2x is minus 3. I need to actually write it out or I'm not going to be able to do this. It is saying 2x is equal to 3 is what it's saying. So x is 3.5 is what it's saying. So yes, I agree with Garion well, sorry, but that's assuming that it really was the minimum. But the minimum, so the minimum is so that's if I minimize the sum of the digits on the line, and so I could make it even bigger. But if I make the sum of the digits on the line even bigger, it makes the 3 even smaller. And so it actually proved in a complicated way is that x is at most 1.5, but that would make x have to be 1, and we can't have a 1, 9. So we have successfully proven that green is 1 and blue is 9. So now what we have to do is it has to be 2, 3, 4 with an 8 along that line, because 2, 3, 4 is the minimum and 8 is the maximum, and those two are equal.
So that puts a 5 here for the row.
No. Puts an 8 there for the row. This is a mean mini.
Puts an 8 there for the row.
And so now we can just do algebra to solve for
and we do the same thing
6.
here, right? The same is true?
Yes. In fact, actually, yeah, it's the same algebra.
But this is different.
Still going to place... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, it still places 8 in row 6, actually, funnily enough.
Because it can't go on the line, so yeah.
It could go on the line, but it can't repeat in the column or box.
Oh, yeah, just by Sudoku, sorry.
Yeah.
And 8 would be perfectly happy on this line.
Yep. So now we have to look at the line in row 3, which is a double arrow with a 9 on it. I feel like there's going to have to be an 8 on it, because if there's not an 8 on it, then those are going to sum to at most 7. So row 3, column 4 has to be an 8, or this double arrow doesn't get anywhere close to big enough.
Yeah, the most it could be is 9, right? 4 and 5. No, there's no 5.
The puzzle. 3 and 4.
3 and 4.
Yep.
So there is an 8 here, which means there's an...
And you should place the other 8 as well, yes. And so now 8 plus 2 doesn't work. 8 plus 3 does work. And 8 plus 4 does work. And so you can fill in the appropriate things.
So this is a 3 or a 4.
So that's a 2 or a 3 in the circle.
It's a 2 or a 3.
And so that 3, 4 in row 3, column 3, we know where it goes in box 4. So that is not a 2, and those can be catch-upped.
Sure. Yeah. One of these is 4, so that's not 4.
Ketchup in both row 6 and column 5 both have to be in box 6. So ketchup is placed in box 6.
In both row 6, okay, and column 5. Yes. Okay, so it's here.
It's there, yep.
My brain's slowing down.
You can also X row 4, column 5, and place X in row 3. So make it an X.
Maybe a different color X.
And place it in row 3. I don't know why it's a different color. We don't have a red X yet, but place it in row 3. It's not red circle.
I'll place it in row 3. Yeah, okay. I was, yeah. And
okay,
also box 6.
Yep. And so I guess if you are insisting on doing colors, then for the things, then we can color the rest, or we can color some of the rest of the cells.
Yeah, why did I not just color these cells?
I don't know. You did color them because you didn't use the X. Which would have been the useful thing. So yeah, so relish square, I agree, is what the last one has to be. For microstudy.
Relish square?
Yeah, you use the pen tool to draw a green box around the 2, 3, 4. Microstudy loves it. Row 5, column 2 is mustard of whatever sort you want, is being pointed out. So mustard is then placed in box 1 as well. All the condiments, indeed. So red circle is placed in box 5. And so now we need to make sure that relish square.
So this is red circle.
Mustard. Yes. And you can place the last one in box 2. Okay, and now relish square and mustard can't be a 2-3 pair because it would make the between line add to 10. It would make the long between line add to 10. So if they aren't a 2-3 pair, that means that relish has to be 4.
These.
Yep.
And that does the puzzle.
Yep.
Very nice, Jay Dyer.
Yeah, I suspected it had to resolve something like that from the rules. That very cool. Yes, I enjoyed that. All right. I think we are going to wrap up stream here for today. Thank you so much to all of you. Any of you who are new from the SudokuCon stream, thank you so much. I hope you'll subscribe and come back. We love to see new folks around here. And we also appreciate all of the regulars as well. So thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who supports the stream. It really does mean a lot. Do please like the stream on your way out if you have not yet liked the stream. It makes a big difference.
And I will be back on Tuesday streaming. I may have a guest with me. We'll see. But I look forward to that as always.
Yes, it should be fun. And I'll be back streaming on Friday. So I look forward to that as well.
Want to take us out?
Sure. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to all the supporters. Big thanks to the turbines as well, the people who support at the top level: David, Nordy, Franco, Woofer, DDX, Daniel, Willie, Danita, Nell, and Dorlier. Thank you so much. If you want to support us financially, you can do that by clicking the join button down below. Deet deet doot, as Casey says. Thank you so much. We'll see you all real soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Bye bye.